What?
This is where the chair will creak, and the demons shall rise from hell itself, because it is the month of the spooky things. It's October. Hi.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome
To the Sweating Palms
podcast. It's the podcast where our palms are always sweating and we don't really know why. All we know is that we're like anxious, awkward, disasters, and probably more so this month because it is
October.
spooky time. Yeah. Hey, I'm Jenna.
I'm Montana.
We're the Sweating Palms. We've kind of covered that. What do we do here aside from talk about our sweaty palms? We tell stories of all sorts and varieties.
Like ghost stories?
Yeah, like ghost stories, especially this month. You guys, October is gonna be lit. Like a jack-o'-lantern.
Or fire?
Or a jack-o'-lantern because it's almost Halloween.
Well, don't you put fire in a jack-o'-lantern?
Maybe.
So it is fire.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ghost stories, true crime stories, embarrassing Halloween-y stories, all kinds of stories. You're getting it this month and all the time. And other times you'll get like love stories and just regular embarrassing stories and regular murder and regular ghosts.
Woohoo!
But this month it's extra spooky.
Well, my story isn't quite spooky, but it is a bit
And
eerie.
you have failed in your task.
But it is a good story.
Excellent. But before we get to gross,
That's my old man grown.
that I didn't like it.
I've worked hard on it.
Well, back to the drawing board with that one. Oh my God, stop. No one wants to hear that. I have it right in my ears and I'm hating it.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Your words hurt.
That sound hurts. Oh, so tell me, do you have anything to get off your chest? Wait, who are you?
Oh, Montana. I thought we covered that.
I didn't think we did. Okay, get it off your chest, sir.
Oh, school.
Yeah, you're back in it.
I'm back in it.
Man, how's it going?
It's rough.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen you since it started.
That's true.
Yeah.
I wish I would have. No, I don't. Having the summer off was nice, but when you're gone, you fall out of the routine, I think.
Uh-huh.
And there's consequences for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So this first week's been rough, and things at work are crazy.
Yes.
Probably way understaffed. So I've been trying really hard to get off at 3, but even if I'm here home at 3:30-ish, I still am working oftentimes till 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then I have to start homework. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I feel like I haven't seen you much. Because you remind the people you're going to school to become a
nursing anesthetist.
Very nice.
A lot of S noises in there. Anesthetist.
That's all right. I can't say it even if I want to. So
yeah, it's good. It's just a long haul.
yeah, and we're in the very beginning part, which is almost the hardest. The first part and the last part is so hard for school.
Yeah, I imagine, especially on the tail end of it. I mean, I watched you go through man, I just want to be done.
Oh, yeah.
You know, probably the last year, I would say, for you, but especially like the last 6 months, probably.
Yeah, I was done for. I was burnt out. I had the like senioritis or whatever they call it. I had that real good. But yeah, I think that it's hard being at the beginning because you just see this like long, long road ahead and you're having these late nights and you're not used to it. And what did I used to call it? I'm like, yeah, people would be like, oh, it's so you have kids and you do this and you do that. And how do you, I'm like, I just got used to, I'm like, I'm drowning gracefully. Like I'm just, I've just gotten used to being on fire. I'm basically burnt to a crisp right now. Like I am the fire and we just need to get it done.
I like that. I am the fire.
And it's like, I have to do it. And so I think it gets easier. I don't want to say it gets easier because it doesn't get easier.
Do you think more adapted, more accustomed?
Yeah, you just it becomes this is everyone's favorite thing of 2020. It becomes your new normal, right?
Yeah, your new normal.
Like I was freaking out. Like I'm like, what am I going to do when I'm not a student anymore? When I'm not working and kids and school and what am I going to do when I'm so busy? And here we are.
Right.
With a podcast.
Yeah.
I had to find I gave myself homework.
Yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways you did, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, because it is a pretty big commitment and it takes a lot of time, and you do have homework. Yeah. I got to get it done tonight. That's funny.
Yeah. Like you'll be able to do it. You're very smart. So I'm excited for you, even though you're definitely swamped right now.
Oh, yeah. I got my textbook in the mail right before the episode, and it is the biggest book I have ever seen. It is huge.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just looking at it thinking, do I have to read it?
I thought it was like an Oxford dictionary or something.
Good grief, I didn't realize it was Grey's Anatomy. It's ridiculous.
All right, so I guess I should get it off of my chest. I don't know. I didn't really feel like I had anything that was too complainy, really, until I thought about it. Because I don't have to think too hard to complain about things. It is one of my favorite things to do.
Complain.
I'm just really good at it.
I just don't even realize you're doing it anymore sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They tell you to do what you're good at. And I am just trying to do that.
Chase your dreams. Good for you. Don't let the man get you down.
Thank you. I'm playing to my strengths here. So I think about this a lot, about artists and creators and people who are kind of pursuing their dreams or their passion projects. You see these creators and they're sharing their work with their friends. Like, oh my gosh, like look at this drawing I did. Like I did a painting, I made a sculpture, I started a small business. And I feel like they just don't get enough credit for what they do, which is really unfortunate because I feel like when you see people like post their art somewhere,
yeah,
you'll see like when you look, especially like I'm talking Facebook right now where you have these different reactions and you'll see a bunch of likes and some hearts. And someone posts a selfie and it's like hearts, hearts, hearts.
Oh,
and like then
crazy.
Likes. And so I'm like, it's funny how when somebody's posting like something that they're talented at or that they're being very vulnerable, showing the world, like, because they're always their own worst critic.
Right.
And people put it out there and it's almost like this, it feels like people are saying like, yeah, like, I guess I'll like it. Even if it's the most impressive thing, like, wow, what a great risk to take on to open this small business.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know what it is exactly, but it really bothers me that people don't support their friends and family who are putting themselves out there like that to, pursue.
What the hell is that?
What was that? What was that?
My printer?
Some ghosts in this house. There's some ghosts in this house.
I thought like a neighbor printed.
That was weird. Ooh, kicking off October with some spooky stuff.
Pardon the interruption.
Pardon the interruption. Yeah, I just don't think that, just to get right back into it, I don't know what it is, and I'm not going to really speculate like why it is. But it really bothers me that people who are pursuing their passion projects or their dreams or being vulnerable and putting something that they've created out into the world, that like the people who know them aren't more like supportive of it. It's really interesting to me because I notice it with a lot of people.
Yeah, that's definitely some food for thought. I'll definitely take that, and because I'm the kind of person who's gonna want to figure out the possibilities of why.
It's just, there's a lot of thoughts that go around that. But yeah, basically just support our artists. There's a reason that they call them starving artists. And I think they deserve more like love and talk them up.
I think that a lot of people now some people will put out those kinds of things expecting to get, the likes or the whatever, right?
Well, yeah.
But I think that a lot of people put it out there kind of as like a public journal, I would say, or like this is, especially with painting and photography and all these things where it go, this is something that you're really passionate about, you've spent a lot of time in, and you want to share it with somebody because that's exciting. It's exciting to share what you love with other people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good when you put it out to the world because you're trying to engage with people and you want to be able to have an open dialogue with this thing that you're passionate about, and people are just kind of
like, oh yeah, that's
cool.
Nice.
Like, oh, awesome.
Yeah, it
stings
weird,
a little. It's like, why can't we have a conversation about, whatever it is, there's different avenues to explore there. But.
Yeah, I definitely just think it's interesting. I think a lot of times when I see stuff opened up, like people will ask questions and then like, oh yeah, I did this by doing these things. And then they're like, oh yeah, like, well, it's like almost like it's not impressive enough or so. It's very interesting. And I'm not sure the right way to describe it, but it all boils down to, I really just think that when people are putting themselves out there and sharing their passions with the world, that you support, like just show love for that, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, that's kind of it. Also, I'm really sad because France abandoned us.
I know.
France hasn't listened to the last 2 episodes. And
maybe they're just busy.
What could you possibly be doing, France? What could you possibly be doing? You're breaking my heart. So Canada's taking your place.
Wow.
Because
cutthroat.
Canada has more downloads than you, and Canada hasn't even gotten any recognition, and Canada's putting in the work. So Canada, you are up.
Good work.
Excellent job. Good job, Canada. Thank you, our neighbors to the north.
Oli, 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 oh.
What?
I don't know. I felt like that would be a good, friendly chant between us and our northern partners.
Oli, 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 oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that not sound Canadian?
What?
I work with a Canadian.
Oh my God. Why don't you? Then I dare you the next time you see her.
I will ask her.
No, don't ask. Just go, oli, 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 oh, and see what she says.
I'll do you one better. I will record it.
I would love that.
I will.
Okay, so Canada, anyway, you're our new favorite. This is why I don't like France. Just kidding, France. If you're still listening, I'll take you back. It's okay.
Wow. It's not very nice to Canada. But
I mean, they won't take the place of Canada has been showing up consistently. France is now like the employee who's been written up once now. This is your first warning.
A warning shot.
I'm just threatening other countries.
I know. What the? Jeez, oh. Coming for you, France.
I don't mean to be so rude. But we are at, this is our 11th episode. We're at 389 downloads on like all of the regular streaming services,
Woo!
Like podcast listening, and 75 on YouTube. So we're like above 460-ish.
Cool. That's awesome.
Which is nice. Yeah, very good. And anyway, it is the spooky Halloween time, and if you care to share your story, sir, I suppose we should get it going now.
Will I be going first?
Yes, but I don't think your old man voice will do.
I was going to tell it in a dark, stormy night kind of way.
No.
Dang it.
We shall not.
Fine. I don't know if I would like to use the name of the person of this story.
Why?
Because I think that sometimes when people do things that are bad, they benefit, they get a personal ego boost, if you will, from the bad things that they've done. Does that make sense?
Yeah, not if we call him a major piece of shit and tell him that they deserve to rot in hell. So go ahead.
Okay, so we'll call him Mr. P. How about that?
Why don't we call him Mr. E?
Hey! That was nice.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't think of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that's okay. It's not a mystery. It was, well, we'll get into it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So my story is based out of good old Spokane.
Oh, you mean the place that we're from?
Yes.
I really hope nobody tries to triangulate our location because we give a lot of information away.
For free.
For free. We're not even getting paid for this.
So, there is a apartment complex, and it is currently known as the Pearl on Adams, which I'm rather familiar with, actually.
Uh-huh.
It used to be called the Helena Apartments, and there was a guy that we're going to call Mr. E. We might have to change that.
What is his name?
I can't pronounce it.
Oh, that's why you didn't want to use it. Not for identity's sake.
Also for identity's sake.
You can't pronounce it?
Yeah, I'll spell it for you if you'd like.
Sure.
His last name, which is the one he's normally referred by, is Piet.
Hold on. I can't spell in my head. Who do you think I am?
Oh my gosh.
Einstein?
The top one.
I can't see either.
Just Piet Rzak.
Petra?
Petra?
Sounds right. Pizza?
Petra?
Pizza?
Pizza? Petra? Is that what we're going with? Rzak?
Oh, Petrick?
Petrick?
That's what I'm going to say.
All right. Whatever.
Well, call him what you want. What's his first name? Peter?
I don't remember. I didn't write it
Dear
down.
Lord.
I know. I'm pretty sure it's
Hope you do.
Stanley.
Let's call him Stan the man.
Stan?
Stan.
Okay, we'll call him Stan.
All right. Tell me a little bit about Stan. What's he doing?
Well, let me tell you some things about Stan. Stan has quite the rap sheet, first of all. This rap sheet includes communicating with a minor for immoral purposes.
Disgusting.
He was sentenced to 51 months in prison for the molestation of a 5 and 9-year-old.
What? Why do we have to do these stories? Okay.
Which he got out. He served of that 51-month prison stint. He served 71 days in jail and attended psychological treatment instead.
That is what is wrong with you people?
I know.
Stop.
So then the police decided to issue a public warning saying he presents a danger to women and girls.
Yeah, you think?
And then in 1989, he's arrested under charges of suspicion of child rape. So not good, right?
No.
In 1993, he's questioned about a woman who lived with him who disappeared. No charges were filed.
No.
In the 1970s, there was another woman who mysteriously died in his bed. No charges were filed.
Oh my God.
And then there was a second time that a woman was found dead in his bed. She had a lot of drugs in her system. Cocaine, alcohol, ruled it a drug overdose.
Right. Of course they did.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So basically, go ahead.
I would like to redact my previous statement. Stan is absolutely not the man.
No.
Stan sounds like a pile of garbage.
Yeah, he is.
Instead of Stan the man, he is now Stan the pile of garbage.
Perfect. So this pile of garbage
That's how you pronounce his last name.
Oh, there
Pile
it
of
is.
garbage.
Pile of garbage.
Yep.
Yeah. So this guy is I'm going to take a moment because I think it's incredibly irritating that you can have like so many charges.
Uh-huh.
And like this, obviously you're showing a repetition of like, even though some of these things were, he was just being investigated and he wasn't actually charged, it's still pretty ridiculous to me that we don't have some sort of system that can like flag people like this.
Oh, do you mean like the law? The law? Like the local government should do this? Do you mean that this is what our system should be doing?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Because we have I feel that we don't have a very preventative system. We have a
reactive.
very reactive. Yeah. Anyway, that may be another topic for another time.
Yeah.
But okay, so he became the manager of these apartments. Okay.
Great choice.
And this is low income housing. Okay. A lot of sometimes especially in downtown areas of really busy urban low income, a lot of drugs, a lot of bad things tend to happen. People are generally living in poverty. It's not a good situation.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was a woman by the name of Kelly Conway. Kelly Conway was 24 years old. It said that she had some disabilities, and the police received a tip to go check the basement of these apartments.
Oh my God.
And they go down there, and in the furnace, they find the remains of Kelly Conway.
Oh no.
So they do some DNA testing. And of course, that's how they find that this is Kelly Conway.
Right.
And her hands and head have been removed. So they're the skull and...
Yeah, to make her less easily identifiable.
Yes, that was the idea, right?
Yeah,
and
I know. I listen to true crime.
Right. So...
no, and I'm sorry, that wasn't laughing at what is happening.
No, it's your true crime obsession you were laughing at. They find strands of her hair as well, lying around, and they receive this tip because the man in question, Pizza Rack, whatever his name is.
It's pronounced pile of garbage.
Pile of garbage. Thank you for that pronunciation.
You're welcome. Anytime. I'm really good at this.
Okay, so pile of garbage, man. Okay. He tells like a total of 10 people that he has killed this woman and that she's not coming back. And he then says things like, oh, it's easy to get rid of a body. You just stick it in dismember it and stick it in the furnace.
Literally, this guy is... It's amazing that he got away with so much shit that he has to this point because he's a terrible criminal.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, definitely. They're like, people are just going on about like, how's your day? You're like, you want to know how to get rid of dead bodies?
I know.
I'm like,
it's ridiculous.
Thank goodness you're real bad at this because, that poor woman did not deserve what she got. But I certainly hope he gets what he deserves at the end. So please tell me more. He tells 10 people.
Yes, which are all residents of this apartment complex. What? Yeah, which is interesting to me that it took some time for this to get reported and brought up and actually made something happen.
That actually doesn't surprise me too much because as the apartment manager, I'm sure he had keys to all of these people's places.
Maybe a little scared of him.
Yeah, first of all, and I'm assuming that because in my experience of having some real weird characters come and tell you stupid things that they shouldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Probably we're just like, yeah, this guy's nuts and probably on drugs and whatever. Probably not a great guy. They probably know that. And so they're like, great, crazy dude, get out of here. On top of being fearful because this is a person who has access to their apartment.
Yeah. That, I never thought of it. That never came to my mind. But that would be absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
So the police obviously are already on, this guy is already on the radar for all the crap he's there. According to the news article I read, the detective said that he was looking into him for other things, but he would not specify what those other things were. So the police are going to go pick this guy up. Okay. He has since then left. By the time the police get involved, the bones are found. He's left the apartment. He's no longer the manager. Okay. Lucky for them, he's in jail. He's in jail because he had sex with a 16-year-old. He's 45.
That's called rape. And good. That's exactly where you should be.
Yes. So he's sitting in jail for a while, and they're gonna charge him with these murders, basically.
Okay.
Or with this murder. So I read through the case file from like start to finish, and it is crazy. Basically, he had this obsession with her, according to numerous witnesses. And she would not, she just wasn't interested.
Yeah.
Now they would, according to the people who testified, they would hang out sometimes, like together, in a group setting, like in this guy's apartment.
Okay.
And so it was friendly, and then because she wouldn't accept him,
yeah,
and also according, he was mad because of that she wouldn't sleep with him, and he was mad that she, and I quote, raided his fridge.
Literally, this is why I fucking can't stand men. This is why. This is it right here.
Oh man, it's bad. Anyway, so one night she comes over and she's complaining of a backache. Okay, and there's a couple of other people there.
Okay.
So he gives her some muscle relaxers, and they're also drinking.
Right.
And he gives her a massage, so the story goes. And then the two other people in question leave, and before they leave, they see Kelly pretty out of it in his bed.
Oh, no.
And they leave. They're gone. And that was the last time they saw her. He then is telling another resident that he raped her, dismembered her, and put her in the furnace.
Oh, my God.
Yep. So this guy is full on fucking psycho. And it's been clear for a while.
Oh, yeah. Like, you are not okay. And you should not be around other people.
Period.
And you should not, like, at all. You shouldn't even. Oh, man. And that poor girl. That's. All these girls and women. I'm sorry. Kelly was a woman. At what point, like, is it enough? Like, do we. I don't even have words because I just have, like. The things that I'm feeling are so strong about this that I cannot say anything without coming across like I'm just like screaming at the microphone about how much I can't handle this. Okay. So I'm liking that you said that you read through court documents. I'm liking that you said he was actually being investigated. I'm liking that you said that, like, it seems like maybe Kelly and these other women and girls who have been victims of his are going to get some form of justice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I have to focus on that. Otherwise, I just get angry.
Yes. So he, now the court proceedings are incredible. He does, or his team, or his lawyer, whoever, they are trying to get closed evidence hearings so that it's not available to the public, which the court ruled no, it's freedom of speech. And there's other reasons for why they couldn't do that kind of thing.
Yeah. Also, he's a piece of shit and people.
With quite the rap sheet, right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, was which was deemed inadmissible in court meaning the jury had no prior knowledge of anything that he had done to this point because it was deemed not relevant to the case.
I mean, I disagree with that, but I also think that the case speaks for itself a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the intricacies of the law or anything, but I read that and thought it was highly unusual. Mm-hmm. They were looking at this as an isolated event, I guess. But I don't think based off of his history, I'm not so sure that was warranted. But again, there's probably, I'm assuming people out there are smarter than me when it relates to the law.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So,
yeah.
Anyway, so, he tries that for a while. There was a doctor who examined the bones, the remains of Kelly, and determined that it was a homicide based off of the fact that she
didn't have a head?
Yes. Okay. Well, and where her hands and her head were severed, she could tell happened either while she was alive or right after, right after she died.
Right.
According, again, there's testimony that he strangled her, that he said that is how he did it. But nobody really knows for sure. But he tries to get the testimony of that doctor thrown out. Doesn't work, of course. The doctor knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So then another piece of evidence that did not make it into the case was that he threw a dinner party in which he invited several of the tenants, and they asked him, "Oh, what are we eating?" And he said, "Kelly Conway."
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yep. Not only that, so I did some more investigating, and I found a newspaper article from a reputable newspaper.
Okay.
That outlined that exact same thing. That there was testimony of two individuals that they were having dinner, they were eating. They asked him what they were eating, and he said, "Kelly." Now, I will asterisk highlight, side note, read the bottom of the page. That did not make it into evidence. The course, that testimony was not admissible. So I don't know why. I don't know if there wasn't enough evidence. I don't know.
Yeah.
So whether that's true or not, I don't know. But there are people in town who apparently do ghost tours.
Yeah.
And they always, of course, tell the version of the story that,
that there was cannibalism involved.
Right.
Which, so it feels weird. I don't like doing these stories that are so close to home because because I think it just hits harder.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, unfortunate, I guess, but it does. It hits harder. You don't get to have this kind of cushion between yourself and what happened to somebody, across the country 20 years ago. It's oh, in my lifetime, in my town, this happened.
Yeah.
But the cannibalism thing seems, in my mind, unlikely just because, when she was dismembered, it sounds like it was just the hands and the head. There doesn't seem like there's much to cook on there. That sounds so... I feel so weird saying this stuff.
Right. I see what you're saying.
But it doesn't seem like there's what did you eat her paw? Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's probably not likely.
But he could have said it just because he obviously had no problem blabbing his fucking mouth.
That is what I think happened, is he's just to get it out there, just to mess with people because he's sadistic, because he's a freak, because he's absolutely insane.
Yeah. Thank goodness for stupid criminals, though, because it sounds like it makes everyone's fucking job easier.
Yeah, for sure. And so here's the version of the story. Basically, it's time for him to testify and tell his version of the story. And he has fought tooth and nail to save himself to this point.
Sure.
He's been denied every step of the way. This is his version. So he claimed he gave the drugs that he got from another tenant.
Uh-huh.
And the story goes is he's in love with this other tenant. Okay.
Okay.
So he says he woke up and that Kelly was already dead in his bed.
Right.
From what
This is the third person.
The third person, which by the way was also not admissible in court because the prosecution tried.
Sure.
He's like, oh, she drug overdose. I got these drugs from this person I love. Is again the picture he's painting. And so of course the next logical step is he panicked and he didn't want this person he loved to be in trouble. So he cut off her hands and head, threw him in a passing dump truck, and burned her body.
Oh no.
He testified that. What? In his mind,
that makes sense.
That made sense to him.
This will get me off the hook. I definitely did some of it, but it wasn't on purpose. I didn't purposely
I panicked.
do it. Like, honestly, it doesn't matter.
You
still dismembered a human being.
Right. And there's a place for people like you. In my opinion, the ground is where you should be.
I'm with you there. That's also my opinion on this matter.
So in total, there are 4 women, including Kelly Conway, that have mysteriously disappeared. And Kelly Conway is the one that put him away. So he has been sentenced to 40 years in prison, which to me does not seem long enough.
No, absolutely not. It does not sound like it's long enough. And actually, I wonder, you saying that made me wonder if they have decided to look into the other women's cases and how they died and look into that a little more, which also led me to remember that my aunt has been working with officials in Spokane we don't have a cold case unit here.
Oh, wow.
We have no like specialized team to sort through cold cases in Spokane. So her brother died mysteriously years and years and years ago when he was 13 years old. And that case has never been solved.
That's terrible.
And so she has and her mom and dad spent so much time looking into it and trying to keep up on it. And it's just never been solved. And to this day, nobody really knows what happened to her brother. And this has kind of become her passion project, is to help figure out a way to gain more attention for cold cases in the Spokane area, and figure out a way to get like a task force set up for that. Obviously, 2020 has kind of set that back a bit because
of course
there's a whole lot going on. But these cases are important. It is important to the victims and to the families of the victims to have these cases solved.
Well, it'll provide some closure and some justice, hopefully.
Absolutely. Because, and there's always that thing of like, somebody knows what happened.
Right.
Someone knows. The information is out there, and, it's kind of like see something, say something. Like, let's try to be better as a society and bring justice where justice is due, I guess. But yeah, thank you for that story. It was really good. That was a hard one.
That was a tough one. It definitely, for me, having walked in the building numerous times.
Yeah.
Without ever knowing, without ever realizing, it's weird.
Yeah.
I think everybody wants to believe that their place, like you touched on it, it's the disassociation, right? It's that happened in that city, like over there. That happened in Florida.
Yeah, and there's decades
all the bad shit
between.
Happens in Florida,
yeah,
right. Like we hear it all the time, but it is pretty sobering, I think, to know like, oh, these are, I walk the same halls as this just horrible human being. Mm-hmm. And that is it's a humbling thought for sure.
Definitely. Well, thank you. Yeah. You know what? I knew we were going to have true crime on here at some point, like a murder, and I did not think it was going to be you who first stepped foot into that arena.
I did.
I'm proud.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I hope that I did at least a okay job I
think
am
it was
certainly
good.
no true crime guru.
Well, you're not Karen or Georgia, but you know what? We'll take it.
Okay.
All right. I also have a story. Tis a spooky story.
I'm excited.
Are you excited?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited too.
Oh, good. Please tell me.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. All right. So this is the story of the Bretswe family.
Ooh.
I hope that's how you spell their name. Or spell their name. Say their name. I don't know how to talk.
Sounds German, maybe. No? Swiss? Maybe it's Swiss.
I have no idea.
I'm not knowledgeable. I'm not going to pretend like I know
I'm not
things.
going to pretend to know either. But that's their name, hopefully. So, there's this couple and their 4 children. They are the Bretswees. They moved into a home in Auburn, Pennsylvania in 2015. And it was a dream home. They were very excited. It was, a move-in ready house for them and their 4 children. Super excited. But this house had a disturbing past.
Oh, no. Those are the worst. That's like my nightmare.
Yeah.
I don't really buy into the ghost thing. I really don't. I just don't. It's one of those things. It's like, I don't know if I don't believe because I don't want to.
Uh-huh.
So there's always something in the back of my mind that's like, but what if I'm wrong?
Me too, kind of.
So I don't like. Well, I guess carry on. Well,
Yeah.
I'm interested in the background of this house.
That's all right. Because I'm kind of the same way. I'm so on the fence about paranormal, supernatural stuff like that. Because I do, I'm like, man, because like I said before, because of my own experiences, I'm like inclined to believe in something. But also when I look at it rationally, I'm like, this is the biggest crock of shit. Like, how can you believe?
I guess I can understand how, how you have mediums.
Yeah.
So I can understand how someone might have the ability to be more sensitive to, say,
certain
underlying energies.
Yeah.
Sure. If I'm going to buy into this idea that there's energy all around us and, whatever.
Like the Force.
Right. But do I buy in the horror film, someone's on the ceiling with their body contorted, possessed by a demon? No.
Right.
I just think that's too far for me. I just don't see it. But anyway.
I think that's fair. This is not a ghost story, by the way.
Oh, good.
But they do get more than they bargained for.
Oh.
So.
A nosy neighbor.
How did you know?
Nuh-uh.
No.
Dang it.
I'm going to say Kasia because I don't know how to spell her name. Why do I know? I don't know how to talk, spell, or pronounce things, so it's fine.
Speak her name.
Kasia Bretswe and her husband decided to add some insulation to the baby's nursery. But when they opened up the walls, a disgusting stench came out and made some of them feel very ill because, as it turns out, the walls were filled with dead animal carcasses.
What?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
What kind of dead animals?
All form of dead animals.
Like dogs?
I saw a little bit of a video. There's birds. It seems like small animals, more or less.
In the walls.
Inside of the walls.
As if someone killed them and then drywalled them in?
Yes.
What? Why?
Yes. And there was a disgusting stench and mold. And it made some of them sick.
Yeah, I'd be sick too. I can't even imagine the smell.
Could you? Okay, so dozens of dead animals were wrapped in newspapers from the 30s and 40s. And there was other items in there too, half used bottles of spices and other items.
I knew it. It was going to be some sacrifice Wiccan voodoo shit.
That's so funny. So this family had to spend around $20,000 on fixing and repairing their house and getting all this stuff out of the walls and the mold, which, by the way, wasn't covered by their insurance policy.
What? I hate insurance companies.
Totally drained their family's savings. It was terrible. So after removing these items, they sent hundreds of artifacts and carcasses to an expert in Kutztown, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It's spelled like Kutztown, but I'm going to assume it's Kutztown.
Kutztown, not Kutztown.
Kutztown,
Pennsylvania.
Kutztown, Pennsylvania.
Welcome. We give you the finest cuts of beef around.
And
Kutztown.
haircuts. You want, what kind of cuts you want? Cold cuts? Cold cuts? Haircuts? Paper cuts? We got it all. Cuts down.
All right. Kutztown. I like it. Maybe we should stick with that. Can we call it Kutztown?
Fucking stand pile of garbage. Kutztown.
You piece of shit.
A piece of
Enjoy your
shit.
bunk bed. You
Oh,
dickhole.
Man.
Anyway,
I bet
so
that shit wouldn't have flown in Kutztown.
hell no.
He would have got cut.
He would have. Freaking 100 artifacts. Wait. So that's incredible. They're sending animals for autopsy. Probably. Like they're going to cut into them or what?
Well, I mean, they're like rotted. I mean, if
Oh,
these,
they've
so
probably
these
been in
were
there a
wrapped
while.
in newspaper and inside of the walls since the 30s and 40s, and it's 2015 now. I'm going to assume that they were in such a state of decay that, like,
Yeah.
probably mummified. Some of them,
Wow.
probably like skeleton. Like,
That's so
there
crazy.
definitely were pictures of skeletal remains.
Oh, man. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. It snuck up on me. Yawn attack.
So the expert attributed the rotting animals in the walls to powwow or Dutch magic, a ritual originating in the culture of the Pennsylvania Dutch to treat ailments and gain physical and spiritual protection.
Oh, that's sombering. Oh, yeah. Okay. Great. What did you need protection from? I just removed it.
'Twas magic.
It was.
The Pennsylvania Dutch were a group of German-speaking settlers.
Oh, German.
Yes, German-speaking settlers to Pennsylvania in the 16 and 1700s. They are often either Lutheran, Mennonite, or Amish,
Okay.
which is interesting. And another interesting thing is, even though the word powwow definitely is a Native American thing, I don't know how exactly this, I don't know how the name came to be synonymous with Dutch magic.
I mean, white people have been stealing stuff forever.
For like this country.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So we also apparently stole powwow. So these ritual traditions are of European origin and were brought to colonial Pennsylvania in the transatlantic migrations. The practitioner is sometimes referred to as a powwower or a
powwower.
a powwower.
Oh my goodness.
That is written on this piece of paper.
I cannot believe that.
Powwower.
A powwower.
All I can think for some reason when I read that
Wow.
the first time, I was like, pow, wow, wow, yippee.
Yippee-oh-yippee. Yeah.
Or a browker. But the terminology, I guess, varies depending on where you are. The folk traditions continue into the present day in both rural and urban settings and have spread across North America.
I was just about to ask you if it was still a thing today.
'Tis alive.
Oh, man.
'Tis alive and
hold
well.
on. I just need to make sure I'm tracking. Are you telling me that there are people across America?
Practicing Dutch magic.
Yeah, which means there's probably multiple homes with dead animals inside their walls.
I wonder what's inside these walls.
Nope, I don't want to know. Oh,
So,
gross.
real quick, because I know you don't listen to My Favorite Murder,
I don't.
but I do.
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia loves stories about things inside of walls because there are so many good, like, whole, like, what people, like treasure found in wall stories.
Really?
Oh.
Wow, that's cool.
So many, or just like random, like all sorts of weird, like dead animals, or like razor blades, or like money, or like dead people. like just you never know what's in the walls. I wrote a note inside the walls of my grandpa's house.
Oh, so when
we renovated the bathroom, I thought about leaving creepy notes, but I thought maybe my grandpa wouldn't appreciate that.
Or the future home buyer who then is giving tips to the police for I found this ominous note.
Just like write it in my own like fingertip blood.
I would write something like Colonel Mustard in the bathroom with a candlestick.
With a
hide a candlestick in the wall.
Yes.
Oh, it's like a game of Clue. We need to do that one day.
When we have a house like of our own that we aren't renting, that's the first thing I'm doing is knocking down a wall and hiding shit in it.
Heck yeah.
Something sinister. Something that will make the next people who knock down a wall be like, was somebody killed here? We will never know.
We will never know.
The world may never know. So anyway, so interesting that you would ask, though, if people still do this, because I also have some notes on like one of the spells.
Oh, boy.
Which I just thought was interesting. So, but it says a lot of the spells dealt with like things like finding water or taking care of livestock or like treating like minor ailments, which
that makes sense to me.
Yeah. And this is from the Washington Post, but it says it kind of reflects the conditions and concerns of early American settlers.
Yeah.
But powwow also has a tradition of darker spells and even such things as conjuring demons.
I feel like
scary though.
Where did the turn happen though?
It didn't happen they happen at the same time. Like, oh, like, man, you have a stuffy nose. Let me just whip up a spell real quick. And then they're like, and while I'm at it, I will summon a demon from the depths of hell.
See, like because I can like track it logically thinking, okay, I need food, I need water, I need my livestock not to die. I'm going to rely on some sort of thing that's beyond me.
Yeah.
To help me feel better, I guess.
Yeah.
In my mind is how it works. And so I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But then all of a sudden it goes, I need a demon.
Well,
what?
You know.
Or I'm going to get the demon out of you. I guess that makes sense.
I mean, I don't know. You get like, be like, oh, freaking Tom across the way says that he doesn't like me. I don't know. People are like, I'm going to get revenge on that bitch. Get a demon. Sick 'em, demon. Anyway, so one of an interesting hex that they had was to create loyalty in a dog. They said to attach a dog to a person and like bond them. Given that, first of all, there are caveats to this. So first of all, like nothing else could have been used on this dog beforehand. Otherwise, the spell isn't going to work. Okay. So it says, draw some of your blood, let the dog eat it with their food, and then they'll just stay with you. And I was like, yeah, because it wants more of your blood. And they're like, dang, this is rich in iron. I need some more of it.
It's so weird. I don't want my freaking dog thinking I'm taste good. Are you kidding me?
I mean, that's not what they were thinking. They're thinking that they're doing magic, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Instead of just like creating a relationship with this dog, just, you
want to know what's an easier way? Just feed it. Be the guy who feeds it.
But you feed it with blood, then you got magic.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Well, I was just thinking of our cat. I feed our cat. Maybe I should start putting blood in it.
Kiki is already my familiar.
Oh, you've already fed him your magic blood.
Dun, dun, dun. I don't have to. I feed him all my love.
And that is the most important ingredient.
It is.
Okay, carry on.
And tuna sometimes.
Did you just say, oh, you bribed that cat with tuna?
I fed him tuna after you poisoned him.
Have you since he's finished his medication?
What does it matter?
Oh my gosh.
And I'd do it again.
What a little floozy.
You're a floozy.
I am not. I'm as loyal as a dog.
Gus.
That's my favorite one. Oh man, that's good.
Gus.
He says it just like that.
Get in here, Gus.
He's a nice guy.
He is a very nice guy. Anyway, sorry bitching about our neighbors and their fucking dogs. This is why you have cats, you guys, because they'll just scream at you when they're inside the house.
Yeah, at hours of the morning.
They don't disrupt the whole neighborhood.
That is true.
That's true.
Point cats.
Yep. Anyway, so there was mold found on the rotting carcasses in the Bretzwy's home, and it made their family sick. And they say that the odor has not gone away.
It's still there.
Just still reeks like
Do
fucking
they
rotten
live there?
nasty.
Still?
I mean, as far as I know.
I would have flipped that house. As in $20,000 to repair it. Now I don't live there anymore.
Yeah.
Could you live there? Honestly. Would you not be looking to sell?
I mean,
I'm curious.
I would live there still if it didn't reek. But if I literally have exhausted all my options, because at that point, I think that after I'd spent like literally my life savings on that fucking house, I'd be like, oh, no. This is my house now. This is my house.
Man, I would have a hard time after finding out that voodoo Dutch magic dead animals were stuffed in my house being able to... I know it's not rational or logical, but still freaks me out.
I mean...
Enough that I would be looking somewhere else to live.
Yeah, no, it doesn't... While it's happening, it'd really freak me out. And then after that, I'd be like, that wasn't that crazy. Remember that one time we found all those dead animals?
It'd be a good, like... what do they call those? Not open house. Housewarming. Housewarming party topic. Like, thank you all for coming.
This is...
If you notice the smell, that's because we had 100 artifacts in our walls.
Good icebreaker. So this is... Okay. I'm sorry. So in 2011, they moved into this house. In between 2012 and 2015, they decided to do the insulation. So they lived there for at least a year, probably.
Gross.
Before they did this. And the house is like over a century old, like just so crazy. And the smell never went away.
That's so gross. Spooky.
So yeah, I think that's just my story. I think I'm done now.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's gross.
That's gross.
Oh, man. Dead
Perfect.
Animal smell.
Spooky Halloween story.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Oh.
Is that it? Well, oh, no, we're not done. Are we? Because we have to end it on a high note.
Does that count? Because can I just say, excellent vocals.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Would you like to give me your high note?
Oh, do you want to give me yours?
No.
No.
I will, but I want you to go.
No. You go.
Oh, I have to go?
Yeah. No, fine. I'll go.
All right.
I don't know. So, like, I've not been feeling super well. Like, I think that everybody at this point, listeners, know that I'm just super anxious a lot. Like, I've been struggling with anxiety for a hot minute now. And I also have a bit of depression that likes to come and go as it pleases. So rude, by the way. And so sometimes it really affects me in really weird ways. And lately I feel like it's been like my own mind and my own anxieties have been making me feel really like inadequate. And like, I am just not good enough. And like, people are just tolerating me and like, nobody actually likes me. Like my mind's actively working against me. Even if people people could say like, I love you. They could tell me that they love me every day. And for my mind is just saying like, well, they have to say that.
Right.
Of course they're saying that. They have to say that. They don't have a choice. Like, oh, of course you're saying you're my friend. Like you have to. And really, what it brings me to, because I'm sure people are like, why are you grateful for this? What is this going to? And really, it's just that I'm very, very thankful to have the people in my life that I have. Like, even I went to the doctor today, and my doctor is just somebody she is an amazing woman. who has not only accomplished so much and is somebody who I look up to professionally, she's also has like the kindest heart and really like, I know she genuinely cares. And it comes down to like these people like you, like the work wife, like Kara, like
Yes, the work wife.
yes, the work wife. This is the first time I've addressed it in front of you on the air. Yeah, it's just people like that. And it makes, and like my aunt, my family, these people that have like the best hearts. And I'm so happy to surround myself with people like that. I am very happy to know people like that. I'm very happy to have people who are in my life who, even when I'm going through my weird, crazy, anxiety-ridden depression, like deep depression having, like people who are there and understand that it's not like personal to them. Like,
right.
I'm not trying to isolate or be weird or whatever, you know, like,
yeah.
And they still love me. And it really makes me happy to have such a good support system.
Well, that's a wonderful high note.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what's yours? See, you should have gone first, huh?
Well, mine's related, so I'm glad you went first.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in my humanities course, I got blindsided because he had us read an article. I believe the article is called The Inner Critic. He also had us, it was the same author, but I think the next title of his article was The Suicidal Self.
Mm-hmm.
Like a quick synopsis is that many people have an inner voice that berates them, right? And it was extremely interesting because he was talking about, in this article, he's a therapist, and he says, this is how we deal with these things.
Mm-hmm.
And he says things like, oh, let's talk about the strategies and the tactics and the behavior and the conduct of this voice in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And it really resonated with me because it listed like all these strategies, and some of the stuff it's like is what you said is you're inadequate and you're this and you're that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really good article. I would suggest reading it. It's too much for me to get into right now. But basically, while I was reading it, it was interesting to have the perspective for the first time, like viewing this thing as this, this inner voice as a thing that has its own strategies, that has its own like sort of mind. Because I think for me, in my mind, it gets difficult to separate whose voice it is.
Yeah.
Right. And so anyway, so I just thought that was really interesting. It was really basically for me, I had this moment where all of my struggles I felt were boiled down to the 6 pages that this guy wrote about it.
Isn't that amazing?
Right. And it made me feel so much better because because he described in great detail exactly what I experienced and also his strategies as a therapist for dealing with it in 6 pages.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought it was incredible. Like
that is amazing.
It was a really comforting thought. It's like, oh, okay, this isn't as big as, this isn't insurmountable.
Yeah.
So that gave me a really big boost coming out of a college course I had no interest in taking.
Yeah.
Had to do it because it's a prereq, and immediately out the gate was able to actually connect with some material in a very deep and meaningful way right out the gate.
Absolutely. You know what? I read something once, and it was a very short thing. It was probably a meme on Facebook, honestly, or like some sort of image,
right?
On Facebook. But it hit me so hard, and this was probably a couple of years ago that I first saw it. And every once in a while, I run across it again, or I think about it again, and it hits me just as hard each time. Where you like obviously have this inner voice, and what it basically said was your inner voice talks down on you all the time. Like, could you imagine your inner voice talking to you, like, or talking to one of your friends that way? Or could you imagine one of your friends, like, would you let one of your friends talk to you the way that you talk to yourself? Like, no, like you need to be your own friend. And that's why, like, you've heard me say that before. Like, I need to be a better friend to myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I sit here all day and be like, well, that was stupid. Like, you did all these things wrong and you did this and that was dumb and you shouldn't have said this. And you're never going to be good enough and you're never going to do this. And like, nobody even likes you. Like, why would you would never deal with somebody else talking to you that way. So like, why are you doing it to yourself? And so every once in a while, and sometimes it's really hard to catch yourself doing that. And sometimes like depression just doesn't give a shit. And it's like, I don't really care. Oh, you're trying to tell me that that you're going to be nicer to yourself? Well, and it's just louder than you can try to rationalize it sometimes. But when I can, I always try to check myself and say like, I'm like, wow, that was really mean. Like you are just being so mean to yourself right now. What would a friend say to you? Like, what would you say to your friend if they told you this? And I'm like, well, I would tell them that they are absolutely good enough and that they should view this as an accomplishment and that they should, this, that, or the other thing, or that like you did a good job or you deserve to rest. Like, yeah, please do take a rest. Talk to yourself like you would talk to another person or like you would like somebody to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's very important. And yeah.
Yeah, and something you said right there, like one of my big things and something that was pointed out in this article was you'll give yourself credit, right? You'll start to give yourself credit because you're realizing like, okay, this exactly the train of thought you followed. I need to be nicer to myself. I need to do these things. I need to give myself credit where it's due. And so I'll say like I accomplished a lot today, but then one of the strategies is it's always qualified. Oh, so it's always, yeah, but you didn't.
Which is, my big thing.
Yeah. So that's a big one for me is I accomplished a lot today and I did really good.
You do this a lot, yeah.
But you didn't do X, Y, Z, or you could have done blah, 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 or it was good. There's always a but. And so you can never just be satisfied with, actually, I did. And you just feel it for like a second, and then that comes in. I'm like, damn, this sucks.
And it's funny because I think that those things come from like a good place. Like your mind is trying to, like you have high expectations of yourself. Obviously, like your inner critic is in there being like, I have really high expectations of you. And then you have like your self-care piece. It's like, yeah, you know what? You did do a lot. And another thing that's helped me is just picking 3 things that you've done. 3 things that you've accomplished. Even if it's, I got out of bed today and I took a shower and I brushed my teeth. You accomplished 3 things. And if you can list 3 things that like I turned in the thing that I was supposed to turn in today. I did this and I did that. I made my bed and I did this. It helps. And so I don't know. There's a real weird balance. And I mean, I don't know. I can't really speak on it much because I'm working on it constantly.
Yeah.
But that was a really good one. Look at us. We're on the same wavelengths right now. What did you say? Oh my God. If you don't videotape that, I'm going to be so mad.
I'm going to do it. And then when she asks me what it was about, I'm going to go, that's what Canadians do, right? That's like that could be a Canadian thing. And she'd be like, yeah, no, yeah. I don't know what she's going to say. We'll see.
You're dumb.
Yeah.
You know who else is Canadian?
Tal?
Yeah. Yes.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
I did.
Was that impressive?
Yeah, I'm impressed by you. You pay attention. That's nice. Wow, I feel really special. Yeah. So I mean, we could just have Kara do it to him and see what.
Yeah, tell her. I'm telling you.
I'm going to call her when I'm done.
Yeah, just tell her. Say, hey, Tal, oli, 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 o.
And record it. And
he'll know. He'll know.
Fuck you. You can't just make this a thing. It's not a thing.
It is a thing.
No,
I'm telling you it is.
What do you... And how would you even Google that?
I've been to Canada. I have. I'm not joking. I've been to Canada.
I'm not like doubting that you...
Oh, okay.
I'm doubting that it's a thing. Not that you've been to Canada.
All right. Maybe I've exaggerated. Maybe there's only one oleo. Oli, 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 oh.
Oh, no.
Whatever. We'll wait for the jury to come back.
Well, I'm really interested. Hey, Canada. Oh, Canada. Let us know. And tell us some of your stories too while you're at it. Hey, look at that. It was a better segue. It would have been great if I hadn't said anything. You can tell us your stories. Tell us your stories. Tell us if oli, 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 oh is a thing in the Canadas. You want to know how to do that? Because I haven't told you yet. Let me tell you. You can email us at sweatingpalmspod@gmail.com. One more time. That is sweating, ing, sweating, not sweaty, sweatingpalmspod@gmail.com. We are also on social media. You can find us on, God, here we go.
You can do it.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram at Sweating Palms Pod. You can find us on Twitter at sweating_palms.
Yep.
We also have a Patreon. I understand that 2020 has been quite the year. I understand that, like, you could very well be one of the way too many people who are unemployed at the moment. And so I don't mean to come across weird, but if, like, insensitive or anything like that. If there are any of you who care to donate, you can donate at our Patreon. That's patreon.com/sweatingpalmspod. You can just type in Sweating Palms into the search bar and we should show up. We would appreciate any support. What else? Is there more?
No.
No,
I don't think so.
really.
Just, you can, again, just a reminder, you can listen anywhere. Oh, we found out we're on iHeartRadio.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so that's cool.
We're
And
officially there. We, I think, have been there, but they never emailed us back telling us we were there.
Yeah,
so whatever.
lack of communication, iHeartRadio.
That's fine. Thanks for having us.
Whoa.
All right. Well, thank you so much, you guys. Have a spooky October. It's spooky season. I know you guys are excited about it. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Friday.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.